It was a cold morning. The wind was strong, and the air felt sharp on my face. My hands were inside my pockets, but they were still cold. I walked fast to the bus stop. The city was quiet, and the sky looked grey. Autumn had gone too fast. Yesterday was warm, but today felt like winter. I could see my breath when I spoke. People on the street were all wearing coats, hats, and scarves. I pulled my jacket closer, wishing I had one too. Then I saw something on the ground. It was a grey scarf. It lay near the bus stop, half covered with dry leaves. I stopped walking. The scarf looked clean and soft, like someone had just dropped it. I looked around. No one was there, just a few cars passing by. I waited for a moment, hoping someone would come back for it. But nobody came. I picked it up slowly. It smelled nice, like soap and something sweet. I touched the fabric. It was warm and gentle. Maybe someone lost it on their way to work, I thought. The bus came and I got on. There were many people inside, all silent, all tired. I sat near the window and held the scarf in my lap. For a moment, I thought about leaving it on the seat. But then I felt the cold air on my neck. Without thinking too much, I wrapped the scarf around myself. It was warm. Really warm. It felt like someone's hug. Soft and calm. I looked at my reflection in the bus window. The scarf looked nice on me, but inside I felt a little strange. "This isn't mine," I whispered to myself. Maybe the owner was missing it right now. Maybe they were searching everywhere for it. But what could I do? I didn't even know where they lived. I decided I would take it to work and wait. Maybe someone would post a notice online or on the street. I could return it then. Until that time, I would keep it safe. When I got off the bus, the wind was even stronger. I walked quickly toward my office building. The scarf covered half my face. It made me feel warm, yes, but also a little guilty. As I entered the office, my friend Lily looked at me and smiled. "Nice scarf," she said. I laughed a little. "I just found it on the street." She raised her eyebrows. "Lucky you. Maybe it's magic." "Magic?" I asked, smiling. "Yeah," she said, sipping her coffee. "Sometimes things find us for a reason." Her words stayed in my mind. Maybe it really meant something. I didn't know yet, but that grey scarf, simple as it was, had already started to change my morning. The next morning was even colder. The sky looked white, and the air smelled like snow. I wrapped the grey scarf around my neck again. It felt soft and warm, just like yesterday. On the bus, I looked at the people around me. Everyone looked tired. Some were staring at their phones. Some were half asleep. A little boy sat beside his mother, rubbing his red nose. The mother smiled at him and covered him with her scarf. I smiled too. The scarf around my neck felt even warmer. It made me think about kindness, how small things can change a day. As the bus moved, I remembered something. Last winter I was standing in the train station, freezing. My hands were shaking. Then a stranger came up to me. He didn't say much. He just gave me a cup of hot tea and said, "You look cold. Please take this." I never saw him again, but I still remember that small moment of warmth. I looked down at the scarf and whispered, "Maybe this scarf belongs to someone like him." When I got to the office, Lily noticed me again. "You're still wearing that scarf," she said with a smile. I nodded. "Yes, it's so warm. I can't stop wearing it." She laughed. "Maybe it's yours now." I shook my head. "No, it's not mine. Someone must miss it." During lunch, we sat by the window eating sandwiches. Outside, people walked fast through the cold wind. Lily said, "You're too kind. If I found a scarf, I'd keep it." I laughed. "You would?" "Of course. It's fate," she said. Her words made me think, is it really fate? Or just luck? Why did I find this scarf, not someone else? I didn't have an answer. That night I came home and placed the scarf on my table. I looked at it under the yellow light. It looked peaceful, like it belonged there. But a small tag on one corner caught my eye. It said, Maya, a name. It must be the owner's name. I touched the letters gently with my finger. Maya, I said softly. Who are you? Are you looking for your scarf right now? I opened my laptop and searched online. Lost grey scarf, name tag Maya. But nothing came up. For a moment I thought about keeping it. After all, I didn't know where to return it. But my heart said no. It didn't feel right. Before I went to bed, I hung the scarf on the chair beside my bed. I looked at it once more before turning off the light. The fabric moved a little in the cold air from the window. I smiled. Good night, Maya, I whispered. And for some reason, it felt like someone was whispering back, good night. I woke up early the next day. The first thing I saw was the grey scarf on my chair. The morning light touched it softly. It looked quiet, like it was waiting for something. I made some coffee and looked at the name again, Maya. It sounded warm. It felt like a person who liked sunshine and music. I smiled at the thought. On my way to work, I decided to do something. I wanted to find the owner. Maybe she lived near the bus stop. Maybe she walked the same road every day. At lunch, I printed a small note. I found a grey scarf near the central bus stop. It has the name Maya on it. Please contact me if it's yours. Then I added my phone number. I went outside and taped the note to a street lamp. The wind moved the paper gently. I hoped someone would see it. For the next few days, I waited. I checked my phone often, but no one called. Every morning, I passed by the same place. The scarf was always around my neck, and the paper note was still there. On the third day, something strange happened. An old man was standing near the lamppost. He was looking at my note. His coat looked too thin for the cold. I walked over and said, "Hello, sir. Did you lose a scarf?" He turned to me slowly and smiled. "No, not me," he said softly. "But I hope the one who lost it finds you." His eyes were kind, but a little sad. Before I could say more, he walked away. I stood there for a while. The wind blew against my face. His words stayed in my heart. Finds you. What did he mean by that? That evening I walked home feeling strange. I passed a bakery, and the smell of fresh bread filled the air. Through the window I saw people laughing, friends sharing stories, families sitting close. For some reason I felt lonely. I didn't know why. Maybe it was because of Maya. At home, I took off the scarf and placed it on the sofa. I touched it lightly. It was still warm, as if it held someone's memory. I whispered, "Maya, where are you?" My room was silent. Outside, the wind made a soft sound, like a sigh. Later that night, I got a small idea. Maybe I could post online, in the local Lost and Found group. So I took a picture of the scarf and uploaded it with a short message. Found a grey scarf near Central Bus Stop. Name tag says Maya. Please message me if it's yours. Then I closed my laptop and sat quietly. My heart felt both heavy and light at the same time. I didn't know what I was really hoping for. To return the scarf, or to know the story behind it. I looked at the scarf again before going to bed. It looked peaceful, almost alive in the dim light. I smiled. "Good night again, Maya," I said softly. And this time I felt something new, like a small invisible connection between me and the girl who lost her scarf. 3 days passed. No one called, no one texted. The scarf was still with me. By now it felt almost like a friend. That night I was sitting by the window. It was raining outside, soft and slow. The scarf lay on my lap. I was reading a book, but my eyes kept moving back to the grey fabric. Then my phone buzzed. A message, I opened it. "Hello," it said. "Did you find a grey scarf with the name Maya?" My heart jumped. Finally! I typed back quickly, "Yes." I found it near the central bus stop. "Are you the owner?" The reply came after a long pause. "No," the person wrote. "It belonged to my sister." I stopped reading for a second. Something in my chest went still. Then I read the next lines slowly. "She passed away 2 weeks ago," the message said. "She had that scarf with her the day of the accident. We never found it after." I stared at the screen. I didn't move. Outside, the rain got heavier, and the sound filled my room like a quiet cry. My hands began to shake. I looked down at the scarf on my lap. It felt suddenly heavier, like it carried a memory I didn't deserve to hold. The person sent another message. "My name is Emma. Maya was my older sister. She loved that scarf. She said it made her feel safe." I didn't know what to say. I typed, deleted, then typed again. "I'm so sorry," I wrote. "I didn't know. I found it a few days ago. It looked warm and kind, just like someone would love it." Emma replied, "Thank you for keeping it safe. Can we meet tomorrow? I'd like to take it home." I stared at those words for a long time. Then I wrote, "Yes, of course." After I sent the message, I put down my phone and held the scarf close to my chest. It still smelled soft, like soap and something sweet. But now it felt different. It wasn't just a scarf anymore. It was a piece of someone's life. Someone who smiled, walked, dreamed, and now was gone. I thought about her sister, Emma. How she must miss her. How something as small as a scarf could bring back so many memories. I turned off the lights and sat in the dark for a while. The room was quiet, but my heart was full of sound, of rain, of breath, of memories that weren't mine. Before I went to bed, I folded the scarf carefully. I placed it in a small paper bag. I touched it once more and whispered, "Thank you, Maya." Then I turned off the lamp. The rain outside slowed down, and for a moment I felt like the world was saying good night. To her, and maybe to me too. The next morning, the sky was clear. The rain had stopped. Everything looked clean and quiet. I held the paper bag close to my chest and walked to the cafe near the bus stop. Emma said she would meet me there. I sat by the window, waiting. My hands felt cold, even inside my gloves. The scarf was inside the bag, folded neatly. I touched the edge through the paper. It felt soft, like a memory. After a few minutes, the door opened. A woman walked in. She looked around until her eyes met mine. Her face was pale but kind. I stood up and waved. "Are you Emma?" I asked. She nodded and smiled a little. "Yes. You must be the one who found my sister's scarf." Her voice was calm, almost like a whisper. I took the paper bag and handed it to her. She held it carefully, as if it were something very fragile. For a moment, she didn't speak. She just opened the bag and looked at the scarf. Her hands trembled slightly. Then she pressed it to her face and closed her eyes. A tear slid down her cheek. "She loved this scarf," Emma said softly. "She wore it every winter." She said it made her feel warm, like the world was still kind. I nodded, not sure what to say. My throat felt tight. "She must have been a wonderful person," I said. Emma looked at me and smiled gently. She was. She always helped others. Even when she was sad, she found ways to make people smile. For a while, we both sat there in silence. Outside, people were walking by, laughing, holding hands, living their own small stories. Emma looked at me again. "Thank you," she said. "Maybe you were meant to find it." She always believed that things happen for a reason. I smiled a little. "I'm glad I found it. It made my days warmer too." She nodded. Then slowly she stood up. "I should go," she said. I watched her walk toward the door, the scarf now around her neck. It looked right there, like it had found its way home. When she stepped outside, a soft wind blew. The scarf moved gently in the air. For a moment, I thought I saw sunlight on it, like someone was smiling from far away. I sat there for a while after she left. I ordered a cup of tea and watched the street. Everything looked the same, yet it felt different. I touched my own neck, where the scarf used to be. It was empty now, but somehow I didn't feel cold. I whispered to myself, "Thank you, Maya. I'll remember you." Then I stood up and walked home. The air was crisp, the light soft, and for the first time that week, I felt truly warm, not because of a scarf, but because of the story it carried.